On June 21st, I sat down with 5 bright, fierce, and incredibly inspiring Jewish American college students. We talked about October 7th and how it affected them, antisemitism on campus, and their thoughts and hope for a future where they can stand with pride against Jew hatred. This is what they had to say.
My name is Nathan Rosenberg.
My name is Yasmeen Ohebsion.
My name is Ava.
My name is Noah Salzman.
My name is Arielle Levy. I attend Williams College. I'm 20 years old.
I'm 22 years old, and I recently graduated from Tulane University.
I am 22 years old, and I just graduated from the University of Michigan.
I am a rising junior or third year at Cornell University, and I'm 19 years old.
I'm a first-generation American. My father immigrated to the States from Iran during the Revolution, and my mother immigrated to the States from Israel during the First Intifada.
I grew up understanding my identity and culture as a Jew, but really lacking a lot of the religious aspects.
Once I got to university and I had a huge community, I did Shabbat dinner every Friday. I eventually started hosting my own dinners, baking my own challah, so it's really an integral part of my life.
I was raised in a modern Orthodox home. We keep Shabbat at home. And then as I got older, I became less religious, but I still consider myself very traditional and a very, very proud Jew.
I think being Jewish is one of the biggest parts of my life, even though I am not at all an observant Jew.
Before October 7th, life on campus was great. I felt like I had the city of New Orleans, which is vibrant and has such a beautiful culture. I felt like I had such great friends, was involved in Greek life, really enjoyed my major.
Before October 7th, admittedly, it felt normal. I didn't feel nearly the hatred that we experience now. There was no detection of this pent-up anti-Semitism, this pent-up hatred. It was all hidden.
Honestly, before October 7th, everything felt fine on campus. I never felt ashamed of my Israeli identity. I never held back sharing where I came from.
If you can rewind to October 7th, do you remember where you were, how you felt?
I think I'll definitely remember October the 7th forever.
I woke up and, like most people, I checked my phone and I immediately was completely shocked.
And I think at the beginning I didn't fully process what had happened.
That was heartbreaking. I didn't understand the magnitude of the situation. I don't think most people did.
I was at my sister's apartment, home for the weekend, visiting her in New York City. And we picked up everything in her apartment, all of our things, and we immediately went home to New Jersey to be with family, because obviously we had realized by then that this was unprecedented.
And I walked out of my bedroom into my kitchen, and all of my roommates were kind of just looking at me, not sure what to say. Most of them just didn't say anything.
It felt like the people that I was surrounded by didn't understand how I felt. And I felt helpless. I wanted to go home. I called my mom and was in tears, and she was in tears.
I remember speaking to my older sister that day about the Nova Festival, and she told me, you know, that could have been us. We could have been in Israel. We could have gone to a music festival. That could have been us.
I started to see students saying this was justified. The rapes, the beheadings, all of the pain felt on October 7th was justified. And I couldn't believe it. And it felt like I was down and just being kicked.
And it felt like my entire world had been turned upside down. It felt like I didn't matter.
I think that people could tell that I was really, really upset during this entire period. My grades went down. I felt very alone. I felt like no one wanted to talk to me about it because they didn't know what to say.
I remember relatively early on at the business school at Michigan, there was a very large protest that interrupted classes, and my professor notably said, "Students, go out and witness it. Go out and watch it. This is history." I remember that was a very hard moment for me. And then later, as the encampment came up, it got so much worse.
So the protests and the encampments at Tulane were suffocating. And my life became suffocating. The environment on campus became suffocating. People say, "F you." They've told me to kill myself. They've called me a Zionist pig. People have called me a Nazi, a murderer. And then when I get home, I go on my phone and people are telling me to go back to the gas chambers, which is so ironic because I'm Iranian.
I am a firm believer in freedom of speech, and everyone has a right to state their opinion as long as it's respectful and nonviolent. But it did feel oftentimes very charged with emotion from individuals that I know have absolutely no connection to this land from either side. And that was tough.
I don't think people realize how deeply these comments affect us. When you intimidate us and threaten us and tokenize us, it hurts.
I think everyone can agree that the tension on campus in the past year has taken away from our ability to invest ourselves in the material that we're learning, invest ourselves in the opportunities on campus. I've spent countless time in the past year advocating for Israel, which is an amazing thing to do, but it shouldn't be necessary. I wish that I could have spent that time in clubs, or getting a job, or hanging out with friends.
Going to school has been a lot different. My life has been flipped upside down. It's taken up a lot of my identity on campus, being Jewish. It's taken up a lot of my headspace. Every day, every second, I'm thinking about where's the hate gonna come from next? My teacher, my friend, the university leadership.
I've definitely lost friends after October 7th. And I think the most frustrating part is that a lot of them were lost without a proper conversation. Just people just don't want to interact with me.
And I would call my father, I would tell him, this is happening to me. It's horrible. I would cry on the phone. I have no community here. And he would tell me, this is no surprise, Arielle. This has been going on for centuries to our people. Wake up. Do something. Make meaning out of all of this. And I think that is really what I did.
If you could say something to other Jewish students who might be facing similar challenges, what would you say to them?
Right now is a time to become empowered. It's a time to become a leader. It's a time to stand up and advocate for yourselves and for the Jewish people, because people around the world are facing so much hate, and your leadership will really make an impact.
If I could give a message, remember that you're not alone, and there's plenty of non-Jewish people who also want to stand up for what's right.
I have one message, and that is that we have never been more united. We have never been stronger. Every blow to our identities, every blow to our people is only something that should lift us up.
Don't sit on the sidelines like we've done as Jews for centuries. Join us.
You are not alone.
We're not weak anymore. We have a state. We're strong, we're driven.
And should give us more of a reason to stand up and speak up.
I'm that Shabbat dinner hosting University of Michigan Jew.
I'm that don't f with me Tulane University Jew.
I'm that University of Michigan stand up for all students Jew.
I'm that Williams College business babe Jew.
I'm that everything is gonna be okay Cornell Jew.